What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wrestling City, and today we're going to be reacting to a news video from Wrestlemania, and this one is reason why WWE will not cancel Night of Champions, and also other important stuff that's happened in the wrestling world this week. So I have not done a reaction video like this in quite some time, but we have some pretty crazy real life stuff going on right now because the tensions with Iran, the US, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check that out because there's a lot going on right now, and apparently Night of Champions is in serious jeopardy of being canceled. It's supposed to be this Saturday, but right now the borders are being opened and closed, or at least the airspace above, so they possibly can't get wrestlers flown in for the show. But apparently Wrestlemania says as of a few hours ago they think WWE will ultimately not cancel Wrestlemania. So let's go ahead and get this video checked out.
What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlemania here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a major Wrestlemania change incoming. WWE make their final decision on Night of Champions. Did a WWE tag team make a huge mistake? Jey Uso vs Gunther is far from over. An ex-WWE star joins OnlyFans. Could WWE be unifying titles? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlemania XL. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story.
Dun dun dun.
Now, first story looks at 2 WrestleManias in 1 year. Now, our top story today takes a look at potential major change coming to WWE's signature event, WrestleMania. It's only a matter of time before WWE delivers a WrestleMania event in Saudi Arabia, and according to a new report from the Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE could be looking to produce 2 WrestleMania events a year. According to Meltzer on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE will indeed be producing a WrestleMania in Saudi, and they could even decide to introduce 2 WrestleMania events each year.
I don't think that's going to turn out like what this report is making it sound like. I've heard obviously some rumors about this Super WrestleMania, but that's kind of like the greatest Royal Rumble in the terms that it's not canon wrestle or Royal Rumble event. So this isn't going to be like considered like WrestleMania 40, I guess 3, or yeah, well 42, we are not going to be seeing that. But I could see them doing some sort of event that has that WrestleMania tagline in there.
They've got the Royal Rumble there next year. They've got a quote WrestleMania coming. The WrestleMania may be the greatest Royal Rumble WrestleMania as opposed to the WrestleMania, but they will do a show called WrestleMania. Whether that will be 2 WrestleManias, there could be. It's a decision that they have to make.
That'll be weird,
the likely
man.
reason why WWE and TKO are considering this is based on dollars and cents. WrestleMania in the US brings in a staggering amount of money for the company, and having both a US WrestleMania and a Saudi-based WrestleMania in one calendar year will see the company deliver record numbers when it comes to their finances.
From a business
Whilst this
point,
makes sense from a business perspective, the reception to this move won't be positive at all.
No, it will
the
not.
appeal of WrestleMania is that it occurs once every year, and for the WWE to then deliver the same PLE twice in the space of 12 months really waters down the established concept and the prestige of the event itself.
That's a fair
Additionally,
point.
if WWE keep the 2-night format for the show, this means that in theory there will be 4 nights of WrestleMania each year, which will be seen as overkill to many.
Yes.
And one of the manias will instantly be labeled as the inferior show. There's no confirmation that WWE will be running 2 WrestleManias a year. However, the way WWE has been going, it's inevitable that WWE delivers a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. So the report definitely has a ton of credibility behind it. What do you guys think of a WrestleMania in the US and a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia? Would you watch both shows? Next up, WWE make their final decision on whether to run Night of Champions. Now, although there have been calls on WWE to cancel Night of Champions out of safety concerns, that doesn't look to be on the horizon. According to PW Insider, talent haven't been advised of any changes to the show, but if any changes are implemented, they need to be done as soon as possible. For those who have asked whether WWE will be pulling this week's SmackDown and Night of Champions events from Saudi Arabia, there has been no official announcement. We have asked numerous WWE officials about the status of the shows and have heard nothing back. We are told that WWE staff and talents are slated to begin travel to Riyadh on Wednesday, so if the decision is made to move the shows, it would have to be done reasonably soon. WWE staff who are already on hand in Riyadh have not stopped pre-production work and setup. Talents have not been advised of any changes as of this writing.
So if I was a betting man, which I am unfortunately too broke to be being a betting man, but if I were to bet money on this, I would bet that it is going to go forward as planned, because WWE, that's been one thing they have prided themselves on. Obviously, we know that after 9/11 happened, they filmed a SmackDown or taped a SmackDown event, and that was one of the first mass gatherings since 9/11. Like, after it happened, it was just like, what, 2 or 3 days after? So they kind of pride themselves on going through despite these political events, and tribute to the troops, of course. And so I think they're going to continue through with this, but unfortunately, it's not 100% up to them, you know? It really depends on what happens in this situation. Apparently, they like intercepted these missiles that Iran tried to send to US or something. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about the politics on that, but hopefully, regardless, everybody, if they do go, will be safe. Prayers up for everybody.
The fans on social media have been suggesting various arenas for WWE to book. However, they would need to book big arenas way in advance, and a few days' notice really isn't going to work. Fans in the UK have been pushing the idea of hosting the show at the O2 Arena in London. Sadly, this wouldn't work, at least this coming weekend, as the arena is already pre-booked, and the O2 Arena is the type of arena that needs to be booked around specific legislation and security measures. The obvious factor in keeping the show in Saudi is WWE's business ties with the country. WWE makes an enormous amount of money from these shows, and we've seen in the past that WWE don't give this type of money up without any significant resistance. In fact, they'd be set to lose around $50 million if both Night of Champions and SmackDown was cancelled in Saudi Arabia. There's no way in hell that TKO is going to be forfeiting that amount of money.
No way.
It will be interesting to see if any WWE talent states that they aren't willing to travel. Naturally, due to the situation, it would be completely understandable if talent would rather give the show a miss, and hopefully, if talent expresses this unwillingness, WWE oblige and simply remove them off the card without any fuss. As things stand, the show is going ahead in Saudi Arabia, and we'll definitely keep you posted on the latest developments when it comes to the show.
That's
Next up, an
crazy.
iconic tag team won a WWE comeback. A WWE Hall of Famer Bubba Ray Dudley has expressed interest in the Dudley Boys having one more match for WWE. Speaking to TV Insider, Dudley stated that he would be game to come out of retirement with Devon to wrestle at the AT&T Stadium in Texas. Of course, I think the entire WWE universe would love to scream Devon, get the tables one last time. If it would be up to me and Devon, it would be yes, we'd love to do it one last time. It has to be with the right team standing across from us, it has to be the right venue, city, and right event. Hell, I'd love to do it at the AT&T Stadium, Texas Stadium, with 101,000 people screaming one last time, Devon, get the tables.
That would be
WWE
good.
last hosted a major show at the AT&T Stadium back in 2022 for Wrestlemania 38. Based on their schedule, there doesn't appear to be any plans to run a show in that specific venue for this time. The Dudley Boys last wrestled as a collective unit last year, and with Bubba being a judge on the WWE LFG series, it definitely opens the door for the decorated tag team to cameo on a future show, or even have one final match as a tag team.
That sounds like a pretty cool idea. Maybe just one last match for them, because I didn't know he said come out of retirement. I didn't know they have officially retired. And Devon, I don't pay much attention to the Busted Open, like radio podcast, whatever. But Devon, he has a pretty great YouTube. I will watch some of his videos occasionally, especially when he makes those collab videos with Maven. Fantastic YouTube channel. Check that out if you haven't. So them feuding with, there's so many different, like, what if they feuded with DIY? That would be a great way to send them off. Or even if the Usos reformed. I mean, I know they faced them already in the past, 2016 or whatever, but I would be down for seeing this one more time.
Next up, did recent WWE signees make a huge mistake by coming to WWE? One of the topics on social media this weekend focused on the Motor City Machine Guns. A lot of the fans are of the belief that the legendary tag team made a huge mistake by signing for WWE, and it's easy to see why. The duo definitely peaked during their first few weeks in the company, and they haven't won a match since April. Fans are of the belief that the
since
tag team would have been a
April. That is
better fit in
crazy.
AEW, and it's now surfaced that the duo were extremely close to signing for AEW last year. According to a new report from Fightful Select, the duo were to sign for AEW and wrestle against the Young Bucks at All In. While Motor City Machine Guns were in talks with AEW, the company had plans to go towards a Young Bucks vs Motor City Machine Guns tag team title feud for the big pay-per-view. We're told that at some point in the summer, things went radio silent between the two sides, at which point AEW assumed Motor City Machine Guns were going to WWE. The decision was made to pivot to Young Bucks defending against FTR and Acclaimed at the show instead. With WWE firmly focusing on the Wyatt Six taking over the tag division, it appears that the push of the Motor City Machine Guns is on hold, at least for now.
For the time
Next
being.
up, Kevin Owens resurfaces. A former WWE Universal Champion, Kevin Owens resurfaced at Fanatics Fest yesterday, and despite his neck injury, the popular star looked to be in good spirits.
He was
even wearing a John Cena t-shirt. Now, Owens was his usual self during his appearance, and he hilariously began to claim that El Grande Americano was actually Elias. Next up is WWE running back an iconic feud. Just last month, WWE marketed John Cena vs Randy Orton as a last time ever encounter. However, Orton is now actively campaigning for one more match against his arch rival. During Fanatics Fest, Orton revealed that he wants to win the King of the Ring and ultimately challenge Cena for the WWE title at SummerSlam. I've also said it a few times in the past few weeks, I will do whatever it takes to get to John Cena, beat John Cena, and get number 15 around my waist. It's highly unlikely that Orton wins the King of the Ring tournament, and it's even less likely that WWE runs back Orton vs Cena. To deliver the match yet again just months after heavily marketing their final match together would be a spit in the face for fans and would lead to extensive criticism when it comes to WWE's booking.
I feel like on one hand, I want to say, I don't want to see Orton versus Cena again. I mean, they just faced. But then I also look at it, the fact that this is Cena's farewell year. So after 2025, he's going to be gone. And dude, do we need to see Cena versus Orton one more final time? Or do you think Backlash was the good send-off, final farewell to put a bow on their long storied feud? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think they should add one more Cena versus Orton encounter?
In relation to who Orton will be facing at SummerSlam, there were rumors a few weeks ago that he could be facing SmackDown GM Nick Aldis. It's unknown if this is still planned, but it would certainly make for a unique program for the WWE veteran.
I'd rather
Next
see
up,
that.
Gunther vs Jey Uso is far from over. WWE fans hoped that they had seen the last of Gunther vs Jey Uso. The two have wrestled countless times over the past year, and the majority of the matches have been rather underwhelming. But with that being said, main event Jey has confirmed that he's not done with the ring general, and according to Jey during Fanatics Fest, he would like to receive his rematch versus Gunther at SummerSlam. I gotta go with Gunther, cause right now Gunther is the better man, right? We go back and forth. I got respect for Gunther. I've never stepped in the ring with Goldberg before, you know what I'm saying, so my hat's off to Gunther. I want Gunther to win. I want Gunther to get to Saturday night's main event so I can run it back one more time with Gunther. I got to knock down that wall for me, check into my next level. There'll be a lot of disappointment if WWE goes with Gunther vs Jey Uso for SummerSlam. However, based on WWE television, they've been quietly building a Usos vs New Day feud, so that specific match has a high chance of making the SummerSlam card this year.
Good.
Next up, could WWE be unifying titles? There's speculation that they could be looking to unify two of the women's titles on the main roster. This speculation began when Becky Lynch appeared at Fanatics Fest, and she decided that she wants to become Becky 2 belts once more at SummerSlam this year. But Lynch is of course the reigning Women's Intercontinental Champion, and based on what brand she's on, this would mean that Lynch is coming for the Women's World title currently held by Io Sky. If WWE delivers this champion versus champion matchup, would this mean that WWE would want to unify the titles? It's definitely too soon to unify the Women's Intercontinental title, however a champion versus champion showdown will be a significant matchup to market for the two-night SummerSlam event. Numerous WWE wrestlers have staked a claim to wrestle for the Women's World title at SummerSlam this year, and the Women's World title matches on both brands heavily depend on which wrestler wins the Queen of the Ring, as the winner of this tournament is guaranteed to receive a shot at SummerSlam. Next up, an ex-WWE star joins OnlyFans. The trend of ex-WWE talent joining OnlyFans continues as former WWE star Tegan Knox has announced that she has now joined the platform, and the content on her page will drop in a number of days. Knox joins wrestlers such as Cora Jade and Matt Riddle on the popular platform, and more and more wrestlers are realizing that this site acts as a fantastic secondary income. And finally, the awkward moment at Fanatics Fest. Our final story today takes a look at an extremely awkward moment from Fanatics Fest this weekend. KSI made a guest appearance at the event, and for his entrance, KSI asked to use Christian's WWE theme song. Sadly, due to Christian being an AEW talent, Fanatics and WWE outright said no. Hilariously, KSI decided to randomly sing the song out of nowhere, and the clip has quickly gone viral on social media. But there you have it, folks,
I
the
saw
wildest news
that.
stories and rumors you need to.
Okay, yeah, that was another informative video from Wrestlemania. So I think well, first of all, the KSI stuff at the very end, I thought that was crazy, and I saw people online like, oh, why didn't they just let him use it? They're so petty for this, but legal reasons, you don't want to be promoting somebody in a different company. I totally think it was reasonable for them to deny that, but I can understand why it would have been cool for that too. But the Saudi Arabia stuff is, obviously the main stuff for this video, and I hope that they end up being able to do the show, but obviously these wrestlers, their safety is a number one priority. Now we know how the wrestling business is, where I have a feeling that if somebody says no, like if the event continues on and they go to Saudi Arabia for SmackDown and Night of Champions, and then a wrestler, a specific one, says no, I don't want to go for safety reasons, I have a feeling they're going to get backstage heat and they're going to somehow punish him on TV. Now, that's obviously mainly through the Vince McMahon era, so things might be different now, but I have a feeling if somebody says no, and especially if they were booked on the pay-per-view, they will be punished as a result. So hopefully we get a clear answer by Wednesday and everybody makes it there safe. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. And that's about it. I will see y'all next time. Peace.